Five Nights at Freddy's. Not for me. I didn't think I would see is this game free to play? It's cheap enough that a lot of young people play it, so it's either free or cheap. The jump scare game. The cheapest way to make somebody scared. And now they're gonna throw a bunch of money at it. If these are environments you can explore, they're kind of impressive. But I doubt it. It's probably gonna be BAM! Right in your face. Hogwarts Legacy. This seems to be the biggest trending one, at least on Reddit, for the most exciting PlayStation game. This is the game people really want. All the people that grew up watching Harry Potter, they want to play this as an adult, and they want to force their kids to play it and relive their recent childhood. I say recent childhood because I'm old. I guess that's a way of knowing you're old. I like that it's not going to be modern. I like that you don't have to worry about Harry Potter or any of that crap. Whole other world. I always wanted Persona 4 to be a Harry Potter game. Hopefully this has the social stuff and the classes stuff that's really fun about Harry Potter. I always liked it best when they were just talking about doing homework. When Square has given all their money and resources to the batshit crazy ideas Nomura's working on a Final Fantasy VII Remake, they have to scale it down. The game is probably going to be like Final Fantasy XII, grounded. There is a woman with a floating crystal, but in terms of Final Fantasy, and there's a big giant guy, but in terms of Final Fantasy, it's going to feel pretty grounded compared to 13. This is going to be for people that have felt like Final Fantasy has not been for them for a long time. Maybe after 6, they thought it was too weird in 7. Or maybe 13 and beyond are too epic and too weird. To me, the environments look really nice, but the character models look like they're out of Final Fantasy XIV, and you have the people that worked on Final Fantasy XIV working on this game. I like that Square is offering different parts. Batshit Nomura Final Fantasy VII Remake stuff. This is more of like kind of a traditional, let's chill it out, fantasy RPG that's still gonna have that special Square Enix touch. I'm getting more excited about this the more I talk about it. This is my pocket, don't worry. Spider-Man. This looks really good. The only thing about it is that the big cinematic moments when Spider-Man's pulling a bridge together, it's not really gameplay. It's pressing one button on the screen. It's not even a quick time event where you have to be fast and have to think on your feet. It's just, here's something interesting, now press the button we tell you to, and don't worry, you're not in a big rush to do it. They feel too, at least in the cinematic part, I think they really blew it. It could have been more of an Uncharted Naughty Dog style where you actually feel like you're a part of this incredible epic scene all around you. The fighting looks pretty neat. I'm actually interested in this Call of Duty. This is what I'm talking about when you have an epic scene and it feels like you're involved. This looks really good. Call of Duty games are always pretty fun. They can be kind of cheesy, but they don't skimp on anything. And they've done this idea of putting games out every year. Oh my God, I'm getting excited just watching this. Like, say, an Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed, but they're smart enough to switch up the development with different developers, so they have enough time to actually make a very impressive looking game. This looks awesome. Way to go, Call of Duty. I feel like Resident Evil has really made a resurgence. 5 and 6 looked so boring to me, and 7 looked great. Didn't play it, but I like that it was in VR, even though I didn't play it in VR. They found something unique within themselves to show to the world. I don't like Devil May Cry, but it looks like they're using the power of all of this rendering to make it even crazier than it ever was before. A lot of young guys with really gray hair. Is that a metaphor? Are they supposed to be old and wise? Are they all 1,000 years old? Does it matter? I like that they're showing off the next-gen power with this 2D platformer. And I really do honestly like that Sony keeps supporting Lorne Lanning, as Oddworld was a part of the first PlayStation. They don't have to toss a lot of money at it. Just keep making them. I'm sure they make their money back on these things. It's not a losing proposition. It's not like it takes 10 years to make one. It's a cool idea. I think it has that original PlayStation attitude of being the slightly like alternative choice. A bit more the 90s avant-garde, a little more weird. I was talking to Horky about why people call this game generic. It's interesting because it's a beautiful game. I think for me it's that there's just so much going on. There's organic material, fire, trees, mountains. There's a bunch of gold. There's a bunch of metal. There's like a lot of conflicting colors. And I mean, you've got this like giant blue shining ball with gold and reds and browns. It kind of has every color. This looks Art Deco, the logo, which doesn't make any sense. Sort of like that logo looks like it's from BioShock. The name Godfall is just sort of like you took popular names of games in the last generation. I think if it's going to be a looter, it makes sense that you're going to have a wide variety of characters and weapons and items. Kind of like if you're looking at the roster of a MOBA or even a fighting game where there has to be this big variety. It just seems like they thought, what makes it look flashy? Flashy clothing, environments, lighting. Let's turn the flashiness up until people start puking, and then turn it down a little bit until they're just gagging a little bit in their mouth. Hopefully this game works out. It looks like they worked on it really hard. I always feel like such a dink to look at something that is a visual technical achievement and say, it's generic. But it is. Now this is a bloody remaster. It stays true to the original, but looks rebuilt from the ground up. Impressive lighting, but not just that, in that it's conveying the atmosphere, but there's a real weight, heaviness to everything, which is what the From Software franchises really excel at. They took everything that was great and just bumped it up. As long as the characters don't do anything like fighting fate, I think it'll be pretty good. What did you think?